Hi everyone! So my final exam is done and now I can actually have some time over the break to create more videos for the channel Brains and Beauty. Today's video is actually going to be a bit short, so I am going to be reviewing this Apres Gel X press-on in the style Short Coffin. So this was actually released in August, and at the time when I bought it, there wasn't many reviews online of this style. So what I want to do is I want to compare it to the medium coffin style I have, and then I also have the short stiletto, and I have from Amazon the Makartt nail. So I'm going to be doing all those comparisons today, but if you are an eyeshadow lover, don't worry, the next two videos are going to be Clionadh swatches, and you actually will get a little bit of taste of some eyeshadows in this video because I have already designed some press-on styles using the short coffin nails using eyeshadows, so you will get to see that if that's something that you're curious about. And so let's just get right into it. So yeah, basically just to give you kind of an overview of where I'm coming from as a consumer who purchased this product, I would say back in the summer of 2020, I found out that we could use eyeshadows on our nails. And that just set me off into really exploring the entire nail world, and eventually I felt like the best option for me was press-ons because you could really do all this great nail art designs using your eyeshadows and whatnot, and then you could actually save it and use it again and so on. So it just felt like such a fun way to play with color and to have like an additional accessory with my outfit. And I also love matching now my nails to my eye looks. So that has become a big thing that I've explored in the last year. But the thing is, I don't typically let my nails grow out very long. It's not because they can't. I have actually tried back in like January, February, I was letting them grow out so I could paint them and do different things with them. But the reality is I have a pet bird and she's super cute and she requires, head scratches and head pats every night. And the longer the nails are, the more she gets a little bit scared and she won't let me scratch her head. So you know what? That takes priority. So I was like, I can't grow out my nails long for that reason. Also, I just feel like it can be a little bit hard for me as I type and do my work and whatnot. So for a multitude of reasons, having long nails naturally is not something that I can have on an everyday basis. But I do love the style of having longer nails. So press-ons are just perfect because I get to do that on occasions where I do want to have long nails and where I can. And like I said, I also have been taking a lot more time designing the press-ons and I want to do more intricate nail art. So it's just nice to be able to keep it rather than just putting it on your natural nails and then it has to like wash off, right? So that's why I got into press-ons. But then as I explored press-ons, so first what I did was I got the Makartt nails off of Amazon. And so for these ones, basically when I was purchasing these, what I read online was they were basically like, okay, these are long, but you can customize them. You can trim them, you can cut them, and then make them any length you want. And so I thought that was actually probably a good and a smart decision to make to just purchase these because that means I could have any length I want. I would just, cut it and trim it. Now, what I've realized having bought these is that number one, I don't really like the Makartt style. I will show you when we get into the comparisons. They're very straight, and then the coffin is just like the last little bit of the tip. So if you cut off the top of it, they're basically square nails, and I do not like square nails. I like coffin nails. So that's, I think, my biggest concern as a consumer moving forward after I bought these was I really want to make sure that the coffin nails, it's a coffin diagonal throughout. It's not just at the tip. And then additionally, I also just felt like, I don't know if this is me just being lazy or whatnot, but the process of having to file and cut these and shape them, it's like the whole point of getting a press-on that has the shape is I don't want to have to do all that. And it just feels like I will never perfect it the way it looks professionally from salons or the way the Apres actually look just right off the bat. So that's why I ended up going to Apres because they really designed them like a professional would in the salon. But at the time, back in February, they didn't have the short coffin style. And like I said, I'm not really used to having long nails, so I was worried that the medium coffin style would be too long for me. So what I did was I purchased in my first order number 5, like the size 5 for the medium coffin, and then the size 5 of the short stiletto. And my thought process was what I could do was I could cut just a little bit of the tip off of the short stiletto, like not needing to do much filing or shaping, just cut the little bit of the tip off, and then that would make it into a short coffin if I felt the medium coffin was too long. So what I'm going to do is actually show you what the short stiletto looks like, which to me actually it's so pretty long. You can see it here. So I'm just going to place them on the back of the surface because they're clear, so I think you can just see it better this way. So this is a short stiletto, and I was thinking I could just trim the top part of this off. So let's try that just so I can show you what it would look like when you do that, in case you do have the short stiletto and you're curious. Okay, so I've just cut it, and I'm just going to just file it a little bit. Okay, so that's how much I've cut off. And I think you're gonna have to make the decision yourself whether you feel like this is something you'd like. But for me, the reason I didn't purchase any more of the short stiletto is because I feel like what this looks like is like it's curved on either side, and that's not what I like. I like in a coffin nail for it to be a diagonal that's kind of cutting both edges. So let me show you how the medium coffin looks like. So here's the medium coffin, and I hope you can kind of see what I'm saying. How it's still rounded by the edges, and here it's straight. So for me personally, I felt like I didn't really like cutting the short stiletto. I can cut it a little bit more just so you can see if you wanted to do more. Okay, so this is how it would look like if you cut off this additional amount off. And again, I personally didn't feel like this was coffin style to me. So I'll show you it on my finger. I just felt like that round edge to me was not really coffin. And then here is the medium coffin style. I just feel like that straight edge. I'm just picky, you know what I mean? Like if you're not picky about this, then at least this is a good way for you to see for yourself what matters to you. But yeah, so after that, I just thought like it is what it is. I'm just gonna have to get used to the medium kind of length or only wear it on very special occasions, like if I'm going to a wedding or a really special party. I can't wear these medium length on an everyday basis. So you might also be thinking that I could cut this. And I have tried that, but it is different than, for example, what the short style looks like. So let's get into the short style now, and I'll show you the comparisons. So when they actually launched the short coffin, I was really happy because like I said, the medium style, I was kind of like, I can't wear it on an everyday basis. If I cut it, it didn't feel coffin style enough, and I will show you some press-ons where I tried cutting it a little bit shorter, but I always was too scared to cut it too short because I felt like I would lose the kind of angles of the coffin style. So when these came out and it was like specifically designed short coffin style, I was so happy to get my hands on this. I was so excited. But I guess my main question was, do these actually look different than cutting a medium coffin short? So I did already trial this out, so I will show you. I just had it in this. This comes empty, this area. So I put in here, because I already tested this out. This is size 2 of the medium coffin nail, and I painted it with the Hollow Taco One Coat Black. And then I'm just going to grab size 2 here from the short coffin style. So these are the two styles, and I hope you can see that this one is more angled than cutting a medium coffin short. So I hope you can see that difference right there. So there definitely is a difference between the medium coffin cut at the same length as the short coffin in terms of how pinched they are, and the angle and the size of these two press-ons. So I would not say that if you had medium coffins, you could just cut them and get the short coffins. Another thing to note, I noticed on their Instagram, they did have one post, or it was a story or something, where they did say that Basically, a lot of these press-on nails are designed such that the curve is related to a certain stress point. You can't cut these things drastically. Like, you can file the press-ons and shape them a little bit better if that helps them fit your nails better, but you shouldn't be making drastic cuts to the length because where that stress point is supposed to be needs to be different. So I think those were the main things I was wondering about related to if one could replace the other. Now let's actually show you some press-ons that I've designed, just because I feel like these clear, like I don't know how much you can visualize it on my nail, but when they're actually colored in, I feel like you'll be able to see how it looks on the nail so that you can decide if like a short or medium look is what you prefer more. So all of these are the medium coffin style, and then these two are the short coffin style. One thing that I want to note, and I really want you to take away from this video, is that you might have to size up when you get the short coffin style if you've already had the medium coffin style. And I'll tell you why. It's not exactly because of the length this way. So really what I struggled with is, for example, this is a size 6 of the medium coffin. And as you can see, it's covering my nails from edge to edge. And it would just look like this. And I actually wore these blue ones to a wedding. So I'll put a little picture just so that you can see how they look like when they're all on in a set in a picture. So just so you can get like a reference from a distance what these medium length nails look like. I don't think they look crazy long. Like, as someone who only can wear short nails, I didn't feel like I was wearing crazy long nails wearing these, but if they were any longer than this, I would have been uncomfortable. Okay, but those were a size 6, and as you saw, they fit me quite well. Now let me show you a size 6 in the short coffin nails. So again, they seem to fit me well from side to side, but I think it's harder to tell when you actually film. Like, right now while it's clear, I'm kind of like, yeah, this works, and I'm pushing quite hard on my nail, and I'm feeling like, yeah, it works. But the problem is right here, this corner will often show the white nail that I have underneath it when I'm wearing these. So let me show you, when I made these short coffin nails, I just went with the fact that I had already known my sizes with these medium coffin styles. So I made this one to be a size 6 as well. And I have a couple of posts on my Instagram so you can see it there as well. It's fine if it's like this. It actually looks great when it's from the front angle like this. But when you have it on the corner, you can see some of that white peeking through on the edges. Do you see that there as well? So I have tried, different ways to make it so that that white corner doesn't show through, but it will show through because my nails are just like, the white part of my nails is wider than the short coffin tip that goes like this, because the angle of the short coffin tip basically starts closer here because it's so short and they want it to be pinched, so it just starts a little lower than the medium coffin nail, the part that angles. Now in real life, it's not an issue at all. Like, that little bit of white, barely anyone's going to be able to notice it. It's not really a concern, to be honest. It's just that I take pictures really close up, so I feel like this just shows through. And yes, you could just really try to file the size of your nails to get rid of all of that white. But I'm a little bit nervous to do that because I don't want to get an ingrown nail when the white grows back out. So for me, I'll never cut it below where my skin is. Okay, so as you can see here, the length from the base of the nail to the top where my skin is about 10 millimeters. And then where the pink ends is about 8 millimeters. So if I were to grab this and try to put it at the base, I'm going to get this lifting right here at the 8 millimeter mark. So I did want to let you know about that. Now you could say, okay, so just size up and we'll get a 5. And a 5 works perfectly. It fully covers the edge of the white nail on both sides. The only thing is, like for me, I'm again quite picky, and I really love, like the reason why I love the coffin style nail is because it makes your nail look skinnier. Like the way it elongates and then kind of closes off, I feel like it just makes it look thinner and, you know, just dainty and stuff. So going for a size bigger sometimes bothers me because I'm like, then I'm not making it skinny. I'm like, it's like growing bigger than what it has to be. Like if there's a 5.5 for me, that would be perfect. And yeah, I could file the size, but I don't know if that usually works. So one thing that I did do that was a bit of a hack, for this set, what I did, so this is a size 6, but I put these kinds of crystals a little bit overhanging so that when I actually place on my finger, I'm not actually putting the press on all the way to my cuticle. I'm actually letting the crystals themselves cover the cuticle, and then that way, by just moving it a little bit up, it will cover that little white corner that I had. So that is a little hack, and I honestly really, really love the look of like these kind of crystal cuticle like crowns. And so I don't mind doing this, to be honest. If this is like my style moving forward, I might actually do that often, as a way to just kind of just elongate a little bit more so that it's not showing the white part. So what really matters is actually how much of your nail that is pink. So how long the nails actually are is dependent on how long the pink part of your nail is. So if someone had a shorter area, like theirs was not 8 millimeters long, you wouldn't have this problem that I'm having right now. So I guess measure yourself if you're curious about what would be the issue. And if you have even longer ones than me, then I don't know if I could recommend the short coffin, just because you'd really have to scoot up the press on, and I don't know if that's actually possible. So for me, given that it's just like a smidgen too short where it starts basically going in on the diagonal, moving it up with and having these crystal cover the cuticle is enough for me. So yeah, that is one thing to note. I will show you, so this is number 5 in that set. And by the way, for those who are watching, they're makeup lovers, what I have on here is I painted the nail white and then I actually put gilding all over this nail. So what you're seeing is the eyeshadow gilding. So for this one, it's a size 5, so that's sizing up. And so as you can see, this does cover both sides without needing to move it up from the cuticle. Okay, so that's pretty much with all the other fingers that I had as well. So same issue with the middle finger, which for me is usually a 5. I kind of fit better with the 4 in the short coffin. The only thing that didn't really change was the pinky finger. So this one I'm a size 8 in both. So here's the size 8 right up against my cuticle, and it covers the nail on both sides. And then the size 8 in the medium coffin nail. So you can tell this is quite long. It's just comparison of size 8 short and size 8 medium. And then, but the rest is better for me to size up a little bit. The thumb as well, so this is a size 1. and it covers nicely. So this one I did using the size 2, the way my medium coffin is. And as you can see, there's just that like little bit that shows up over here. Now I actually am, so I already filmed the Cleona video that I'm about to post next, and I am wearing these short coffin style nails glued onto my fingers throughout the video, so you can check that out and see like how it looks as I move my hands around. And I'm wearing these ones in, these are the medium coffin style. I'm wearing them in a previous video I filmed back in the summer, so it was my Project Pan video, so I'll also link that in the description box so that if you guys want to see how they look as I move my hands around, you can see that. Alright, so here just comparing the different lengths that we're seeing. So here we have the short coffin style. This is size 6, and then all of these are also size 6 in the medium coffin style. So you can see the length difference here. For those who love eyeshadows, this is Gothic from Cleona, this is Opulent from Cleona, and this is Ray from Cleona. You can see here the different fun shifts depending on the light that you get with these eyeshadows. The middle blue one is just a nail polish. So, okay, so here we have size 5 and all the different styles. So we have the short coffin here and the medium coffin here. One thing that I forgot to say for when you're doing the size 6s is just that this brown one is the only one that I have filed down a little bit. So when I made these, again at the time, the short coffin still wasn't available, and I was feeling like these medium ones were just way too much of like a statement and hard to use on day to day, and I wanted to make a neutral type of press on for like everyday use, so I tried to file it down a little bit, but that's as much as I had the courage to do. Like barely anything was filed down, just a little bit, and I still was like, well, I don't know if this feels coffin enough. I don't want it to become a square. So yeah, that's kind of why these ones are just a teeny bit shorter if you were to like file down the medium without turning it into a square. And then here we have the short style. Okay, and then just to compare it to, since we have these here, the size 5 of the Stiletto that's been cut, and the size 5 of the Stiletto uncut. And then lastly, the size 5 of the Makartt nails. So I'll put it here. And this is supposed to be a coffin style, but as you can see here, like I feel like this one is very like just straight, and then the edges are a little bit tilted diagonal in, whereas all of these coffins, it's like the diagonal moves from around the center to the tip, which again is more preferred. I feel like when I'm wearing this, can you even tell that it's a coffin? I feel like it barely gives coffin vibes, you know? So I really don't like these. Another thing that I wanted to mention that is a huge pro for Apres nails compared to Makartt nails or any other nails on the market is that the Apres, you can actually buy them like just a packet, the way I did with the medium coffin ones. You can buy just a packet in the size that you want for your nail. Whereas when you buy the Makartt nails, you have to buy it comes with all of these at once. You can't select one size, and that just makes me feel bad because I'm like, I'm not all these sizes and I'm not going to use all of these, so now it's just a bunch of waste. And honestly, if there wasn't an option like this from Apres, I probably wouldn't ever get into press-ons because it's just like, I would just feel so bad each time that I run out of only specific sizes having to buy all these other sizes. Like it just didn't feel right. So I'm really grateful that Apres allows us to buy the specific size that we want. But I will say right now that the reason that I did buy this as all of them is because I knew that this was like something like a length that was more wearable for a lot of people, and I was thinking I could make some for my friends who have different size nails, or you know, they could come over and we could like play around and, you know, when there isn't COVID, they could come over and we can play around and they can make some nails that fit their sizes. So that's why I got the box. But moving forward, I will only be buying the certain sizes that they offer. Now, as of right now, December 2021, they still haven't put up on the website the specific single sizes available. They only have the box available. But given that all their other styles did eventually have single versions available, I'm sure they'll come out with it soon. So that's just, yeah, one thing that I wanted to note as well, because yeah, it's a huge pro for Apres. Okay, so I think that's basically it. I just wanted to really show you guys the size 5 and just walk you through how the size 5 looks different in the different styles and compared to Makartt and compared to the short stiletto. But for the rest of the sizes that I do have of the Coffin medium, I will put up a picture for the thumb and the other fingers compared to the short Coffin, because I think all you need is really a picture of those. And again, if you want to see them on my actual fingers, I will link the 2 videos that I have down in the description box, and I'll do a pinned comment just so it's easy for you guys to see it. And that way you can actually watch like an over 30-minute video of me moving my hands around. You can really get a feel for like how long they are and how they look. But keep in mind that the length of your finger from your cuticle, you know, to the top of your skin really will affect how much overhang you have and how much white of your nail is seen. So those are just things to keep in mind, but I hope this video helped you to decide what style you like, what length you like, and, you know, just to also get to see a little bit of a preview of what I'm going to be doing on my channel, because soon I do want to start a series that's going to be called Nails and Neuroscience, because I think I didn't actually say this in the beginning, but the reason why this channel is called Brains and Beauty is because I'm a PhD student studying brains and also a beauty lover. And so I've been really wanting to start a series on my channel called Nails and Neuroscience. And in that series, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be basically doing some nail art on these nails. And to actually make that nail art, I'm going to be using the eyeshadows that I own in my collection. So it's a bit of this like combination of the makeup world, the nail world, and also the brain world. So I really hope you guys are excited for that, because I'm really excited for that. But yeah, so that's, you'll definitely be seeing more of that. And before I start that series, actually, I am going to post a video showing you how to use eyeshadows on your nails, whether it's press-on or real nails, because when I was first introduced to this concept was when they used shimmer eyeshadow and they just kind of like layered it over a nail polish, and so it acts like a top coat that changes the color. But that's basically it in terms of what's on the internet for it. And over this past year of experimenting with all these kind of different ways I could use eyeshadow on my nails, I really want to do a compiled video of all the different techniques that I went through. I tried some that were fails, some that were really good, and what I eventually figured out. And I did find a way to make matte eyeshadows work on nails. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Stay tuned, that will be an upcoming video. So if you're interested in that kind of content, please do subscribe. And if this video helped you out, I hope you do give it a like. I will see you in the next one. Bye!